Welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast with your hosts, Tony Caselnova from DisneyByTheNumbers.com and Parkhopper John from WDWParkhoppers.com. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast at all times. And get ready for the Disney Parks Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast. We have a great show for you today. One of my favorite people is on the show, Jeffrey Epstein, Director of Corporate Communications for Walt Disney Archives, D23, and D23 EXPO. Now, the D23 EXPO is coming up July 14th to the 16th, 2017 at the Anaheim Convention Center. So we're going to be talking all things D23. We may even sneak in a couple of old, Disney videos from, his Disney Jeffrey days. I hope, maybe. We're going to get into all that and so much more. Welcome to the show, Jeffrey Epstein, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I meant what I said. You're one of my favorite people. I've bumped into you a few times at some D23 events, and I watched you back in the day when you were doing the
Disney Geek.
the Disney Geek videos. I mean, I go way back, man. So
it wasn't that long ago, John. It's not like we did it, in the Cretaceous period.
Yeah.
Is there any chance we'll ever see the Disney Geek again?
I'd say never, but there's no plans imminently for it, Tony.
Yeah. All right. It was one of my favorite things.
I'm just a Disney geek in my own day, so every day. So it's
well, if we could just, do some Facebook Live, that would help us maybe get through it all.
I'm right on top of that.
All right. So we're less than 30 days out now, and for the expo. And what will be new and exciting this year that people should be keeping their eyes out for when they arrive?
Wow. Well, yesterday we just announced that we're bringing a street party to the expo show floor. We actually have widened a couple of the main thoroughfares, and every day of the expo, twice daily, we will be doing street party cavalcade with characters, live music, dancers, and some very special guests. We've already announced that Stan Lee and Mark Hamill and the cast of Disney's Descendants 2 will be grand marshals for a couple of the events, and we will be announcing more soon. So that's one great thing. Mm-hmm. We also always really listen to fan feedback. That's something that's incredibly important to us. So more space, bigger venues. We want to get into everything. Well, we can't make sure everyone gets into everything because we have to have things going at the same time. So there are some tough choices. But this year, we are bringing back the D23 EXPO Arena, which we were incredibly excited about. So all of our venues, we were brought back Hall D23, which is nearly 7,000 seats.
Wow.
We turned what was last year's Stage 23. We sort of reconceived that back into the Expo Arena. So you've got nearly 5,000 seats there. And then Stage 28, we even doubled in size, and it's about 2,000 seats. Plus, even the Walt Disney Archives stage is almost doubled in size. So we're really looking at capacity, really trying to get every fan into the room that wants to be there, and come up with really strong programming that fills those venues. So those are a couple of new things that we're really excited about. And of course, all the different businesses are bringing incredibly new, fun, and engaging activities to their pavilions, from Disney Channel bringing the DuckTales money bin for everyone to jump into, to Parks and Resorts, which is bringing the model for the new Star Wars themed land coming to the parks. So we can't wait to see that. It's going to be incredible.
Very cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys bring. For those people who are not necessarily familiar with, D23 Expo, how many people in the last couple of expos on average have been showing up, just to give everyone an idea about how massive this event really is?
A lot.
Now, is that an official number? Is that a Disney sanctioned number?
A lot is my official number. A lot is the official sanctioned number.
It's
well,
it's
I think you all posted that Saturday's been sold out already. So
yeah, it's true. We a few weeks ago, even we were thrilled and of course surprised that we sold out so far in advance for Saturday. People can still attend on Saturday if they get a 3-day ticket for now until those sell out. But we were so excited that happened, and clearly it's great because we were able to do it before we'd announced a ton of the content. So it's really rewarding for us to see that the reputation for the expo precedes itself, so people know that there's some really incredible things coming without even knowing exactly what is programmed there. Although people go to D23EXPO.com, we did just post the schedule as it currently stands. There's a few things that have yet to be announced, but most of the schedule is there.
Yeah, I love that you put some kind of this. I don't know if they're on purpose quite yet, but things that are not announced, and they could be good surprises. Probably, you never know, right?
Oh, I'm quite certain that people will be very happy with the things we have not yet announced. It's not that we don't know what's going to be there. We just the businesses have not made those announcements yet, and we want to continue to build the excitement and suspense.
Yeah, perfect. Do you know? I know that you spoke about all the bigger places, hall and the arena and things like that. But, there's some of the smaller panels. Do you know how many of those are going on this year?
Well, we've got the Walt Disney Archive stage, which is, I would say, considered one of these smaller venues, which will have, I would say, roughly 21 panels. They have about 7 panels a day. Okay. And then we have announced that Parks is going to have a small area where they're going to be doing some things. Okay. But we haven't specifically said those. And there may be a couple of other places where there may be activities happening that we have not just yet announced, but certainly something to keep people to keep their eyes on. All in all, there's dozens and dozens of presentations and so many opportunities to meet and greet even this year, which we're really excited about. We've expanded Talent Central, which is where we do a lot of the meet and greets and autograph signings. So that's going to be really, really fun.
That's awesome. Is the store pass and stage pass coming back this year? And is there going to be anything different connected to those?
Absolutely. They are both back. Stage Pass in its third expo year. It was so successful and definitely a great, I don't want to say trick, but a great tool for people to utilize. For those who don't know it works like a fast pass in the parks. When you get there, when you get to the expo, there are a certain number of panels that have availability for a stage pass, and you go to the stage pass line, you say which one you want, you get your stage pass, and much like a fast pass, it guarantees you entry to a panel, so that you don't have to wait in a line. Now, you may not be the first person in the front row, but you'll definitely be in the room, and certainly for so many fans, that's what's the important thing is to be there when these moments happen. And Store Pass is coming back, and we've actually expanded it. So it was almost a test year to see if it would work the way we had hoped it would, and it was very successful. So we're bringing it back, and we've expanded that as well. And people will be able to use that in Disney Store, the Disney Dream Store, and Mickey's of Glendale.
Yeah, and that's basically the same thing, right? Where the Store Pass is like a fast pass for those specific stores, right?
Correct. So I believe this year we're saying it's one a day for one venue. So, but the full details are at D23EXPO.com. I don't want to speak out of school, but there are a couple of rules behind it because we want to make sure that as many people get into the venues as possible.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I know there's a lot of discussion going on Facebook and other places. People wanting to camp out, for some of the movie announcement panel in the arena and things like that. What do you tell people for that, Jeffrey? Is there a camp out policy? Is there a place that they can find more information about that?
We could check the things to know page, but I'm quickly searching to see if we so we don't encourage guests to wait overnight, right. But there are going to be advanced lineups that are monitored by the expo staff. So that's pretty much what we've put out there. We did something similar last year. Again, we don't want to we want to be on the lookout for all the safety of our guests. So we are going to have a monitored service for that.
Right.
But by no means is that an endorsement. Everyone come and camp out, because we want to make sure everyone has a great experience and don't feel like they have to do that. Another great thing that we added this year, we added a bunch of gold member benefits.
Oh, okay.
So people who are D23 Gold members, obviously Gold and General members got a discount on Expo tickets, which are still available. But the Gold members this year, we had the early entry, and that we've done that for a few years, and we wanted to, based on some feedback we got, we really wanted to change stuff up this year. So rather than early entry to the show floor, we're offering 3 specific benefits. One of them is a limited number of Gold member seats will be held for all presentations. So there's going to be a separate queue for Gold members. And that is based on your level of membership. So much like if you were a Gold member going to one of our events, you could bring 1 guest, or if you're a Gold family member, you can bring 3 guests. So that policy will be enacted there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Thank you. I wish I could take credit for it, but it's the team came together and really figured stuff out. There is, of course, we're bringing back our charter member lounge too, as well, for our charter members. But we've got special discounts from a bunch of our Disney partners, Javianas, Ozobot, Thomas Kincaid. If you show your D23 member gold card, you'll get a special type of a discount on the show floor. Some more of those details are going to be on the D23 EXPO app prior to the event. And then last, we haven't revealed it yet, but the reveal is coming soon. All Gold members will get 1 complimentary Expo exclusive print, which I have seen it. It is amazing. And we will be revealing it before the Expo, and members will be able to get those. So there's some really fun benefits this year that shake it up a little bit. We're really excited.
Yeah, wow. That's very cool.
That's great. You mentioned the mobile app. That was one of the things that we really kind of enjoyed the last time we were there. So is it going to be the same type of thing? If you updated it? I mean, obviously you've updated information, but have you made it, changes where there's a couple of things for me were a little clunky, but that's my personal, because that's my brain doesn't always work right. But it is.
I find that hard to believe, John. But
oh, come on.
It is coming back, and we are updating it with some new bells and whistles, which we're excited about. And again, yes, we absolutely listen to the feedback from guests. We did a survey of many of the attendees last time to get their feedback, including on the app and how much they used it and what they liked and what they didn't like. So we took that feedback, we're putting it in. I think for an app that's essentially mainly used over a 3-day period, it's not going to be the app of all apps, but it's going to be great. We're continuing to add a lot of fun functionality to it that we think will definitely enhance the guest experience. So stay tuned. We're going to be announcing the release of that very soon and have a few details about that.
Yeah, that'll be great. I know one of the things that I think John and I both enjoyed was the show floor. I know it's filled with all kinds of third-party vendors and that. Anything new coming to the show floor this year that we should be on the lookout for?
Well, we're definitely excited about the Walt Disney Archives exhibit. Every year they bring something new, and this is the second year that they're going to be on the show floor. At the 2015 Expo was the first time they had been down. They'd been on the second floor previously. And having them on the show floor added a great energy. So many more guests were able to experience it. It was just, it was wonderful. So we brought it back this year. It's Pirates themed. I'm sure you probably saw, and really rooted in the 50th anniversary of Pirates of the Caribbean, the attraction at Disneyland. But of course, along with that, there's the Pirates film franchise and Disney Pirates in general, from Treasure Island and Peter Pan, and Jake and the Neverland Pirates. We've got a long history with pirates, and they have uncovered a couple of amazing pieces of artwork from cartoons that were never, shorts that were never made, including one about Donald looking for pirate gold. And we showed a couple of those images online, and seeing them in person is it's really special, because you get to see something that was brought all the way to the stage of it actually being colored in concept form, and get an idea for what it could have been, which is just, it's, to me, those are like the gems of the archives. They're the fun hidden facts that you may not have known. So that exhibit's going to be wonderful. They're also doing a terrific dress exhibit, which is adjacent to it. It's not themed to pirates. Fantastical Fashions, which has some great dresses from our heroes and our villains, which will be very, very cool. And Marvel is joining us for the first time on the show floor, which is really exciting. We're so thrilled that Marvel is creating their own pavilion, which is going to really highlight a few of the upcoming films, including Black Panther and Thor. So fans will really get to immerse themselves in the Marvel universe, so to speak, on the show floor. So that's new and something that we're really, really excited about.
That's very cool. I love how the different companies are coming together and, you know, bringing more and more stuff. That was the cool thing for me at D23 for the expo, was just being able to see all the different things, you know, coming out of one area and a couple years back, literally bumping into Joey Fatone and turning around and you had the big pirate ship from Once Upon a Time. This is a couple of expos back. But it was really cool to see all this. And that's the one thing for us as fans that D23's expo is so cool about, is because you bring all of that together in one roof and you get to walk around and just see all these little touches of how incredibly awesome the Disney company and all of its, I don't want to say subsidiaries, but, you know, Star Wars, Marvel, you know, ABC, all those cool things come together under one roof. And that's one of the reasons why I love this event so much.
Thanks, John. That means a lot to me, and I know the whole team. I think when we had the first expo, it was a total unknown, and I think for a lot of fans, it was more challenging to connect those dots at the time, because seeing those things together had never really happened before. But over the years, and certainly because D23, I feel like, does a terrific job of talking about what's new and what's next for Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, ABC. It's all Disney to us. We love it. People are now not just comfortable seeing it; they're excited to see it. It was I think it was the last expo during the studio's presentation. They did a fun sizzle reel at the beginning, and one of the things that really gave me goosebumps was that Jack Sparrow got huge cheers, then Iron Man got huge cheers, and then the Millennium Falcon got huge cheers. Every part of Disney elicited this incredible amount of passion and excitement from the audience, and that's how I feel. But it was wonderful to see the fans get it as well. The fans be just as excited for something that maybe considered core Disney, so to speak, versus something that is a part of the company that doesn't have the Disney name on it per se. So that, I think that to all of us is so gratifying and a real thrill.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I hated that I couldn't go last year. It really, because it was the Star Wars stuff, and I was so jacked up for it, and then I couldn't go last year, so I was a little disappointed. But it's great to see all of that, because it really, as a Disney fan, it gets you excited, because this is part of what makes us us. We love Disney. We love, many of us love Star Wars and Marvel and all that. And when you get to experience that, that's the great thing about the expo, because you can come together and you can see these things, and you can bump into your favorite artist or your favorite star or creator. Like, to be able to possibly be in the same room as Stan Lee gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. So that's why this event is a must do for, if I can use that phrase, for any Disney fan. So, it's definitely one of those things that's got to be high on your list. If you can't go this year, go when you can. So,
Yep. And that being in the room moment is dead on. It's one of those things that it only happens once. So for so many of these things, and seeing it online is fine after the fact, but there's something so visceral about being there when Stan Lee comes out or something like that. It's just awesome. And that's one of Mike of Argo, who now is the head of D23, had the vision to think of this street party, really coming up with ways to bring the talent to our fans in a new way. So that way, maybe you're not there to see Stan Lee become a Disney legend, but hey, he's going to be in the cavalcade on this day, so come see him here. And then you are standing on the show floor, and you don't have to reserve a seat, so to speak. So really great opportunities.
I've garnered 10 minutes of the man's time. Okay. So Dream Store, you mentioned Dream Store. It's coming back. Very excited about that. Is there any hints about any of the D23 exclusive items that we might be able to hear?
We're going to be doing some really fun merchandise. They're calling it in the Dream Store, the throughout the years collections, where they're going to be highlighting the Pirates 50th anniversary, Space Mountain's 40th, Epcot's 35th, Star Tour's 30th, all sorts of cool pieces that I think fans are going to go crazy for. I don't know if you saw from the last Expo in 2015, they had a great Mr. Toad plush that they debuted at the Expo, and that was one of my very first purchases. It was amazing. And we've got the R5 D23 droid. So I think people will want to get that for a new Star Wars themed piece. Plus, there's going to be, of course, logo merchandise and T-shirts and drinkware, souvenirs, pins, all sorts of fun items. And I've seen, I can't say what, but I've seen some of the items that are going to be in Mickey's of Glendale, and it is fantastic. Fans are going to love the items from the Imagineering store and Disney store. They haven't announced yet what they're bringing, but they may be announcing soon some of the items that are coming. So definitely something to be watching for.
Yep. Bring some extra cash.
Cannot wait. That's right. Cannot wait.
Yeah. The last time I went, I shipped 2 boxes of stuff home. That's how much stuff I bought. So, I know this is going to be a tough question, but what would you tell everybody is the one thing not to miss? Or if you have more than one thing, what would be 1 or 2 things or 3 things that you would tell people not to miss this year?
Wow.
I know it's a tough question.
I guess to me, it depends on what are you passionate about. If you're passionate about the theme parks, I would say, well, you can't miss Bob Chapek's presentation on Saturday afternoon. That is must-see, breaking parks news that people are going to love. If you are maybe okay about theme parks, but animation is your passion, well, then John Lasseter is your man. He's hosting the panel of the big presentation on Friday afternoon, where he gets to show some clips from upcoming animated films, as well as make some big announcements there and bring out some fun stars. But if you're a Star Wars Marvel fan and that's what you love, then Saturday morning be there for the studio's live action presentation and hear what breaking news is coming out of there. But if you love history, like you're really a fan of the Disney legacy, well, then, of course, Disney Legends is something that you don't want to miss, because we really celebrate all these incredible people who have contributed to Disney's legacy. So it's hard for me to pick, mainly because I could tell you what would be on my agenda, but that's not necessarily what's going to be on everyone's agenda, because it depends where your fandom is rooted.
Very true.
So what do you like the most, Tony, John? And then I can tell you what you can't miss.
I like the stuff. I typically would gravitate to Bob Chapek's parks things. I like the parks. That would be where I would go first.
So then you've got the Bob Chapek presentation on Friday. You're going to want to make sure you see Pirates of the Caribbean, 50 years of swashbuckling adventures.
Right.
You're not going to want to miss. There's a really fun panel they're going to be doing in the Walt Disney Archives stage called Park Stars, Original Characters of the Disney Parks, which celebrates characters like Figment and the Country Bears. There's going to be, what else is super awesome for the parks? And there's a ton of really great parks content. I shouldn't say a ton, but there's quite a bit of great parks content that's going to be on the archive stage. There also is the Voices of Disney Parks panel,
Right.
And Women of Imagineering. Those are going to be great. And then the Legends of Imagineering, which we just announced yesterday with Marty Sklar, Tony Baxter, and new Disney Legend inductee Wayne Jackson on Sunday evening. Those are your parks panels. Plus, there's also going to be Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough, 60 years of the attraction. So
Wow.
from its debut to today, with some of the team who've worked on it. So there's so much.
Very cool.
Wow.
Next.
And
Throw something else at me.
that's amazing. I always gravitate towards the live action films. Animation is great. But I always gravitate for live action because I'm a Marvel head and I love Star Wars.
So if you're a Marvel head, absolutely, you're going to want to see the Marvel Pavilion. You're going to want to see the Archives exhibit with all the live action pirates, costumes, props, set pieces. If you blend over into the Marvel animation world, you're going to want to not miss the Marvel animation panel that's happening on Friday. Let's see, it's Saturday morning, of course, the giant live action panel. All some incredible pieces of Star Wars and Marvel will be there. What else live action that I'm thinking? Those are definitely the biggies. And I guess it's more animated, but the Alan Menken concert on Sunday, I think, is just going to be outstanding. To get to a 90-minute concert of Alan Menken doing his biggest hits is just going to, I think, blow the roof off the place.
I got to sit in the room when he was doing the joint concert with, his name totally went out of my head.
Richard Sherman.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Jeffrey.
No
Richard
problem.
Sherman. I told you, brain doesn't work. With that concert, to hear them performing their music and then to see the finale was incredible. So the Alan Menken alone is worth the price of admission. So I think that's a great suggestion. So good, very nice, man. You handled it like a pro. We threw a bunch at you and you gave us a bunch back. So we appreciate that. That's great.
Oh, one more live action. I forgot the Melodies in Waltz Time concert and panel on Friday evening that we just announced, which is celebrating the live action musicals that Walt did, like Mary Poppins and Parent Trap. So we've got the Happiest Millionaire, and because of Happiest Millionaire, we've got Leslie Ann Warren, who's going to be there, which is fantastic, and Karen Dotrice will be there as part of the Mary Poppins segment. So we're really excited about that too.
That's cool. That'd be a lot of fun. If you were, if someone were to ask you, Jeffrey, I'm coming to the D23 EXPO for the first time, what suggestions, what tips would you tell them?
I would say come with an open mindset, because I feel like it's not a theme park experience. We try to make sure that it's a very good experience, but it's an event that lasts. It's only there for 3 days. Everything is different. It's not a theme park that has the same attractions, or an attraction you could go on multiple times over the course of a year. So a different bit of a mindset. You're not going to get into everything. So go with a first choice, a second choice, and a third choice. I feel like that's a really great approach, because the odds are really good you're going to get into at least one of those, if not more. Comfy walking shoes. Make sure you've got water. And look at the schedule ahead of time. Come up with a plan. It's very much, I think, you guys are both theme park pros, so it's about knowing what you want to do. If you're going for the first time, you don't want to get on an attraction without getting a fast pass, for example. Those are like first timer tips. So you want to make sure that you've read up on what there is, what you're most interested in. The more you know about the schedule, the better you're going to be. And then, of course, there are going to be things that pop up that we announce day of that are going to be happening. So be ready for some spur of the moment surprises too.
One of the last questions is, will anything be streamed this year?
We've not announced that we're going to be streaming anything yet. We think part of what's special is being in the room and being there. Mm-hmm. And that's certainly a benefit to being there, or even being a member. So there may be some things that get streamed, but we haven't announced anything just yet.
Okay. Any other questions, Sean?
I could probably ask questions all day, but I want to be sensitive to Jeffrey's time. So no, I think that we're all in agreement that, you've got to check out the expo this year. And there's a lot of great suggestions, a lot of great information. And I'm sure that Jeffrey will give us some places we can go to find all that information that we need.
I certainly can. You can definitely get all the latest Expo information at D23EXPO.com. Certainly feel free to follow us on social media. We're at Disney D23 on most platforms. And we always are announcing the latest news that we've got breaking for the Expo, as well as all sorts of news from around the Walt Disney Company, because we celebrate all things Disney 365 days a year. And you can always get more there, more on that at D23.com.
And I highly recommend becoming a member because I enjoy it. I live in Florida, so I get to enjoy when you all come down here for Destination D, or I did a luncheon with Morty Scalar, so that's all great. So I highly suggest.
Thanks, yeah.
Yep. There's lots of. You've added a lot of things to hold us over during the year until there is another expo.
We try.
Yeah.
We want to keep everyone busy.
Right.
I mean, we really do dozens of events over the course of the year. A lot in Southern California and Florida, of course, but we try to bring a little bit of Disney magic around the country too.
Yeah, you guys have kind of been on the road this year too, which is nice. All right, go check out D23, and we want to say thank you to Jeffrey for stopping by and giving us all this great information. And if you see him at the expo, please stop by, say hello. I'm sure he wouldn't mind a little handshake or a hug.
I would love it.
Yeah.
That would be great. And thank you guys so much for having me. Can't wait to see you at the expo.
All right. And we'll see you in the parks.
The Disney Parks Podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. All Disney parks, attractions, lands, shows, event names, etc. are registered trademarks of the Walt Disney Company.
Like a boat out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star, your dream